Hello Flosstube, my name is Claire and this is Flosstube number 6, and I haven't been around for a little while and sorry for that, but I meant to keep coming back, but the only time that I have to film really is when my techie husband is around, so that is on a weekend, and the weekends have just been full for the last few weeks. And also I did something horrendous to my back about 3 weeks ago, which completely literally knocked me flat. Couldn't move, was on painkillers, was kind of tottering around the house like this, so there was no way I was going to manage to film anything, but I did get lots of stitching done because I couldn't really move, so I just sat there and stitched. It was great. Where was I going with this? Hello, thank you for everybody who is subscribing to me, thank you for everybody who watches, and thank you for all your fabulous comments. I do read every single one of them, even though I'm a bit pants at replying to them all. I will try and get better at that. But yes, today is the first day that I've ever tried to do this without techie husband hovering nearby in case I get it all completely wrong. We have already had a disaster involving micro SD cards and things like that, so I have been on the phone to him already, but hopefully we've got that sorted out, because if I can get this to such a state where I can understand it and do it without him around, then I can do them much more frequently, which will be great because I've got a rather large pile of stuff to show you, which means I've got to whiz through it all, and I'd rather spend a little bit more time, you know, going through the details of stuff and chattering about things. So hopefully if I can do it more often, I'll have slightly less to show you and we won't have to zoom through things quite so fast. So let's start straight away. I got a page finished. Look at this. Those of you who have been watching me before know that I am working on Celestial Companions from Heaven and Earth Designs, and I was aiming to finish page 9, which is this one. No, page 10. That was page 9. Page 10. Before the end of September, and I really didn't think I was going to, and I did! Look at that! He is a very handsome fellow. I love him. So I did absolutely loads of focusing on him towards the end of September particularly. So not many of my other whips got a huge amount of love for that time, but I did it. So now my goal with this beauty is to finish the row, so page 11 and 12, by the end of December. So I'm giving him about an hour a day at the moment. So I've already started kind of up here. I'm going to work down. And you can see the remains of my first Heaven and Earth challenge there, which is beginning to get sucked into the stitching. So I think I'll do it. I think it'll happen. This is the only piece that I will give myself a deadline for. I don't like stitching to deadlines. That's why I don't really stitch for other people for presents and things, because I find it takes the joy out of stitching for me. So this is the only piece that I will give myself a deadline for, and only because even at one page in every 3 months, it's going to take till like 2022 to finish. And I would like to finish him. So anyway, there he is. That's Celestial Companions. The next one, I keep looking down because I've got notes. Oh, that's what he is going to look like eventually. So I'm at this level here. So still got lots to do. I think it would make a really nice quick stitch actually. I say quick. Just that bit. Because that bit is just gorgeous. But all of this bit to do, so we'll see. So next, my Saturday stitch is another Heaven and Earth design, and it's Jewel of the Sea. Now I haven't given her much love over the last few weeks, but I have done some. Now Terry from Stitching Petunia wanted me to unroll her and show where I've got to completely, because I haven't done for the last few videos, and this is her. Isn't she beautiful? And she'll come down to about here a bit because it's got all of her tail. But she is lovely. And I've been mainly stitching on her bum. Mermaid's bottom. All very good. But this, I was chattering about this in one of my groups on Facebook. And it kind of started off a conversation about mermaids' bottoms. And then it kind of moved on to mermen, which you don't see very many of, and their bottoms. Now, if you Google, well not Google, but if you search merman on Tilton Crafts website, you come up with this blue merman who is lying on the sand with quite a peach at the bottom. It looks a little bit wrong. Some people may adore that. But to me, a merman should be quite scaly on the bottom. You know, it kind of starts at, you know, maybe at the waist and just goes down for the tail. So, yeah. Sorry, that was her. Yeah. So go and have a look. But it looks a little bit too human a bottom for my liking. So I thought I would just show you the other merman bottom that I quite like, which belongs to the air. Now look at the muscles in that bottom. That is a true merman bottom. I'm going to enjoy stitching him. Anyway, moving on from mermaid bottoms. If anybody would like to contribute to the discussion, you've got another one to show, please do. So, my next piece is one of my focus pieces for this year, which is The Guardian by Teresa Wentzler. And I've given him a couple, probably a few hours, not huge. I did quite a bit of stitching along the top bit here and started doing some of the back stitching along. There are many, many, many fractional stitches. And it does seem that I am the only person I know that likes doing fractional stitches on Ada. Does that make me weird? Genuinely though, when there are this many fractional stitches, I find that on even weave I quite often lose my place and you end up being half a stitch out, or you know, you're really confused. I do anyway. Whereas this, you're working in the defined blocks and it's much, much easier to keep your place. So I like my fractionals on Ada. So, and I did lots more of the sky. I love the blending that Teresa Wentzler does. Look at that sky. It's just beautiful. So doing more on him. And he is eventually going to look like that. Gorgeous. The other two Heaven and Earths that I've been working on have been Ex Machina and Blushing Rose, and I'm not going to bother showing you what I've done on those because I've only worked about an hour and a bit on each, and really you can't tell. It's like little bits here and there. What I have worked on quite a lot is Spooked by Lizzie Kate. Now this fits into quite a few sales that are going on at the moment. So there's like a Halloween sale, there's an autumn equinox sale, there's a Lizzie Kate sale in various Facebook groups. And so this piece fits quite a lot of them. And so this is Spooked. And I finished the first part, which is that. And that's as far as I've got on the second part. And I'm loving it. This is the first time I've ever stitched on hand-dyed fabric, and it smells lovely. It is on Ale by Picture This Plus, and all the threads I'm using are the recommended Weeks Dye Works that come in the pack, apart from the white, because I think I said in a previous video the white actually had lots of variegation that made it get lost against this fabric. So I've changed it to a lighter variegated white. So, and I'm loving this, and that is what the whole thing will look like. So I am very much enjoying that. The other kind of stitch along mystery thing that I'm working on at the moment is the Lakeside Needlecraft Fantasy Stitch Along, and I finished the Pegasus. I've got the Flosstube itchy nose. Excuse me, off camera. There. Isn't he lovely? And I put extra sparkle in the wings at the request of my daughter. I don't know if you can see some sparkly fabric anyway. But I did lots more blending filament in the pink of the wings, and then just stitched some blending filament over the top as well, because she said it wasn't sparkly enough. She's 6. She likes the sparkle. And she has claimed this piece for her own and requests an update on my progress every day. Every day. So I've been working on it a little bit more because, you know, pressure. And I've started the witch. She's called the Pegasus Penelope. And the witch is going to be called Miranda. I don't know why. And so instead of moving on to do the wizard, which is going to be here, she wanted me to start on the witch, which she really likes. So that's what I started. And the witch is going to look like that. So, lovely. And I'm stitching it on blue and pink cloud with silver sparkles from Sew It All. Enjoying that. I'll have to say Kate Worthington, who runs Lakeside Needlecraft, is so good. I emailed her yesterday because I tried to print out the pattern for the witch, and for some reason the file was corrupted or wasn't working. So I emailed her, not expecting her to get back to me until at least today, because, you know, working week. And she emailed it me straight back last night on a Sunday. And that is customer service above and beyond. Can't recommend her highly enough. Join, do it. Now, another stitch along, kind of a pop-up stitch along, done by Tracy P in honour of her birthday. Now, she set up a Facebook group and invited people to come along, and said for her birthday she wanted to set up a little stitch along to stitch this by, who's it by? The Primitive Hare, Sister Stitcher. Just as an idea of everyone stitching something nice and sweet to celebrate all our love for each other. Yes. Well, I did mine, and I chose nice and bright colours. Sister Stitcher. And I'm going to send mine to Tracy, and there's quite a few of us sending them to her, so she'd better think of something really nice and creative to do with them. She said she's going to judge my backside. Not sure how I feel about that. Anyway, it's a finish! This counts as finish number 4 for 2016. I really don't know if I'll get any more. But it was a really fun, cute stitch, and I just finished the page on Celestial Companions, and so I quite fancied something little and easy. So there. That was quite nice. So I've done that one, so that will be winging its way across to America, to Tracy. But I wanted to save it and show it to you guys before I posted it, so there's that one. The summer stitch along in Cross Stitch Finish Line, I was focusing on Teresa Wentzler, Castles by the Sea. Love it. Look at the dragon. Swimming dragon. And I did some of the sky. Again, her variations and blending are beautiful. But that's still really at the beginning. That was a Mania start, so I've not got very far on that. The next one, this is why I want to do them more frequently, because I've just got a big pile. Next one I worked on is another of my Heaven and Earths, and this came up in my rotation, and it's Blue Rose, and it was a stitch along from the Heaven and Earth bulletin board a couple of years ago. More than a couple now, I think. And she's lovely. And she's going to look like that. So I've been stitching on her a bit. Some on her eye and stuff. So, did her. And on the 24th of September, I missed August. September, they had, in Stitch Mania, they had the colour of the month stitch along, and this month was Orange Crush. And so I did a lot of orange, and I just worked on You Are My Sunshine by Stitch Rovia. And this is for my youngest daughter, because we do sing it to her a lot. That's nice and bright. It's going to look like that. And the other two in the series, I've got them and I've got them kitted up, and I am planning on starting them next year. 2 more whips, 2 more. Hang in there. The next one, Cross Stitch It's Fun are doing an Ink Circles stitch along this month. And so I'm working on my little alien schoolgirl, which I love. It's so much fun. And I've printed out the alphabet, the Futurama alphabet, to personalise this little bit here as well. And I haven't got very far, but I am really enjoying it. And I'm stitching it on 18 count vintage mocha Ada, I think, something like that. Vintage country mocha? I don't know. Anyway, something like that. So you can see I've done the entire length of the sandworm. It's called a sandworm, but I haven't put all its legs and all its back bits on yet, but that's the entire length of it. And I've started some of the flora and a few of the space rockets. So lots more to do on that, which I'm really pleased about because it's so much fun. I would never want it to be over. And my last whip, another Heaven and Earth. Somebody said that I have like so many Heaven and Earths. I think I have 8 on the go at the moment. Might be 9, not sure. But most of them are quite small. This one is quite small. This is Bubble Fairy Catface. And I'm doing him on 25 count Lugana 1/1. And Sadie from Yarnivore is also doing him, and she's doing him on 18 count Ada. He's big and beautiful. And we're probably about the same amount done. She's doing him in columns. And I'm just kind of cross-countrying all over the place. And that is what he's going to look like. The little cutie. So that's him. That is my whips. That is what I have worked on for the last 5-6 weeks. So that was quite a lot. So yeah, I'll try and do it more often so the pile is smaller. Haul. I've had some lovely haul over the last few weeks. And one of my favourite was a complete surprise. In one of the Facebook groups I'm in, one of my friends posted about 2 kits that she was torn between starting and asked for people's kind of opinions. And one of them was a dragon. And I kind of weighed in going, I've been looking for that dragon for ages. Where did you get it? And she said, oh, I had it in a cupboard for like the last 15 years. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's been out of print for however long. Yeah, stitch that one and I'll really enjoy watching you stitch it. Bless her. Shirley went and sent it to me. Completely surprised. Michelle, bless you. I wasn't hinting in any way. I was genuinely looking forward to seeing it stitched. And you sent it to me. Thank you so much. I cried when I opened it. It's the DMC Dragon Ride that I have been hunting for years. And you just can't get a hold of it these days. At least I couldn't find it anywhere. I mean, I googled like crazy. Nope. And she sent it to me. And it's got, in the back, it's got all the threads. It's got the linen, which I'm probably going to switch out for even weave got linen. But definitely starting this one. If not this year, it'll be next year. So thank you so much. You are such a sweetheart and I really appreciate it. Love it. Some of my other haul, I've got some fabric bits. My first chromatic alchemy. Smells beautiful. And this, oh gosh, what's it called? Nope, I can't remember what it's called, but it's on their website. And it's a large piece. And it goes from purple, pinky purple, graduated up to blue. And I'm planning on using this for the Mirabilia Mermaids of the Deep Blue. So I'll have it with the pink at the bottom and the blue at the top, so them coming up as the colour changes. So, and that is 32 count even weave, and it is beautiful. Just looking at the different colours and the edges there makes me very happy. And another piece of fabric that I got in is, again, it's a 32 count even weave, and it's from Sew It All. And I don't know if you can see, it's a light yellow. It's kind of lemon, mottled lemon, I think. Don't know if you can make out the colour. Usual Flosstube problem, but it's really quite nice, but it's not like bright and in your face. And I'm contemplating this one for another mystery stitch along that I have joined. I'm contemplating a few others as well. I'm not sure, but if I don't use it for that, I'll use it for this one. The other mystery stitch along, I don't have anything to show you as yet, but it's called the Beautiful Sea Quaker stitch along, and it's from Ship's Manor. And I blame Garrett and Kate on Stitch Mania for posting about it, and I kind of zipped over there and got it sorted. And Eric, the guy from Ship's Manor, has included a pack of kind of a special price pack of hand-dyed threads to go with the stitch along, and it looks beautiful. The colours are stunning, and I'm now waiting for them to arrive from America so I can start the stitch along. So yeah, don't really need another mystery stitch along. Couldn't help myself. Oh well. Other haul. I bought, on the Quaker theme, I bought 2 Jardin Privé pieces, which I thought were cute, although I'm going to probably leave the alphabet off and just stitch the top portions. My Ladies Quaker and Gentleman Quaker, and they were really nice. And I'm going to start both of these for the 12 Days of Stitchmas stitch along. Lady Dancing, Lauder Leaping, yeah, that Stitch Mania are hosting. So that's those. My mum gave me like a pile this big of cross-stitch magazines that they were getting rid of from a bookstall in her church, and nobody wanted them, so she gave them to me for nothing. And I'm not kidding, there must be around 30 of these magazines, and they had like big Joan Elliott's in, and they had Michael Powell's, and they had loads of beautiful stuff in. I wasn't just gonna go through those or show you all those because there's far too much to do, but as and when I decide to do them or give them away, then I will show you. But that was a fantastic haul. I've also resubscribed to Just Cross Stitch on the digital copy, and I've subscribed to World of Cross Stitch and Cross Stitch Crazy, which I adore. I always end up buying anyway, so I thought, save money, just subscribe. And this month in World of Cross Stitching came with this calendar, and it is beautiful. And my girls absolutely adore it, and they are desperate for me to stitch these foxes because we get foxes in our back garden all the time, and they curl up and look really cute. So we like that one, and I'm in love with this hair. Look at him! He's so scruffy. He is a darling. I love him. And the duck as well. It's cute. So I'll, yeah, hopefully be stitching some of these next year. And I have bought a few more Teresa Wentzler's, surprise, on Patterns Online. I've bought 4. I'm going to just tell you what they are. It's the Fortunate Traveller and the Minstrel, which are big ones. And then Medieval Miniature and Fire Dragon, which are little ones. And I would show you pictures of what they look like, except that Patterns Online, you print off the pattern, but the pattern doesn't have like a front photo or picture of what the design actually looks like stitched. I don't know why, but it doesn't. So I have to, before I start them, I'm going to find a picture of what the design actually looks like, print it out so I can stick it in. And I'll show you then. But I bought them and I'm very happy, and I have plans for all of them. And then I went on eBay because I was stitching the piece with Tracy P. Made me look at my very limited amount of variegated threads and want more. And so I went on eBay and I found this pack of 27 variegated anchor threads for under a £5. And they're genuine anchor. And they are pretty. So I got those. So now I'm variegated up. I have luck. And that was my haul. Yay. Where are we? 25 minutes. Okay, future plans. I'm going to continue with my Celestial Companions and my Fantasy Cell and my Spooked and my Little Alien Schoolgirl. They're just going to keep on going. And I'm also going to stitch on Blushing Rose, which is another Heaven and Earth. And I've shown her before. She's my sassy fairy. And this week she has actually come up in my rotation. So I'll be spending a little bit of time doing something on her hair. There. And also I'll be doing something on my butterflies. These were a free kit with Cross Stitch Crazy a few months ago. Now, Terry, Stitching Petunia. This is for you, okay? Not this, but this bit. This morning, I was watching Terry's latest video and she was showing her ornament tree that she's stitching lots of Mill Hill kits to stick on there. And I have an ornament tree, so I'm going to show you. Because these butterflies are going to eventually end up on it. Now this tree has been an Easter tree. It's going to be a Halloween tree. It has been a summer tree, but it's been slightly stripped. And it's got all these things that my daughters have coloured in. My plan is to do lots of cross-stitch ornaments to hang on it as well. And normally we've got ribbons wrapped around these bits to make them more colourful. But it's in the process of being turned from a summer into a Halloween tree, so it's been stripped a bit. But I got this from Hobbycraft. Not very expensive. It's not very pliable. I mean, it's plastic, so but you can't like bend it out of shape too much. But it's really cool, and we all love it. So that's my ornament tree, Terry. Yours looks a little bit more classy. Mine's a little bit more in the wild. But there you go. There's that. And then coming up towards the end of October, there is Stitch Mania Election Stitch Along, which I've planned out everything I'm going to do for. I'm cheating for a few of them, but that's okay. So it's like stitch on something red for one of them. I don't know much about American politics. I'm watching House of Cards at the moment and learning a lot. Quite scary. So I'm planning for that. And next year, I am going to be doing a year of starts. Not every day. No, not that crazy. Love you, ladies. Not that crazy. But I will be doing one start a week. And in Soulful Stitching, there is the Cross Stitch Blitz, which is one start a week. So I thought Cross Stitch Blitz, year of starts, combine them together, one a week. It's gonna be awesome. I'm also thinking 2018, I'm gonna do a no starts at all year. Kind of polar opposites, because then I might get a chance to actually stitch on some of the ones that I start next year. Also, my husband would be happy about that. But that is far away in the future. I may change my mind on that. But next year, year of starts, one a week. So all of these lovely, lovely charts, like this kind of thing, that I really want to stitch, but can't really, justify starting right now, I can justify starting next year. So that's what I will do. Yeah, that's about it, I think. Just coming up to half an hour, so before this whole thing cuts out on me, as it tends to do. Thank you very, very much for subscribing, for watching. Any comments or questions, put them below and I will attempt to get to them. And hopefully I'll be back to speak to you again in a week or two instead of a month or two. Happy stitching!